Shalom and welcome to TGC. In today's video, we will look at two clips. One from Adnan and the second one is from Ahmadi. I believe that's his name, both from Speaker's Corner. What we're going to establish today is more proof that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we find in our Holy Bible is not the God of the Quran. We will hear what their little discussions are about and use it to prove that it is not from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from the Bible. So when Muslims tell you that their Allah from the Quran is the same God that we find in our holy scriptures, and that it is the same message, do not believe these lies. But let us display the more proof that Allah is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this guy right here with the glasses, he is a Ahmadi Muslim, and he asked Adnan to describe what his belief is of the Dajjal, Isa's return, and the breaking of the cross, the killing of the pig, and doing away with the jizya. Now we will see in this first clip that Adnan is a master debater. Clearly, he dances around and never answers the question.
I'm learning from you, yeah?
Okay. So can I raise a question?
No, I'm learning from you.
Okay. So shall I teach you then?
No. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll
My
teach you.
first question is,
Yeah, I'll teach you then. No problem.
please explain to me your concept of Dajjal, concept of Isa ibn Maryam's second arrival, Isa's mission, because he will break this cross and kill the swine, and and kill the jizya and polish the jizya.
Beautiful questions. These are beautiful questions, and
Of Dajjal itself,
we have multiple volumes written by our scholars on these very topics, debunking Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani systematically. My question to you is that why do you want to indulge in these questions and pass Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani in his character?
Okay, for one, I just want to interject here. He asks this other Muslim guy, why does he want to indulge in this topic? Because I will just state now, it is my belief that these Muslims at Speaker's Corner avoid speaking about one of their pillars of Islam, and that is believing in the last day, the last hour, which is end times prophecy. And I will state, which is my belief, that the reason why we never see them at Speaker's Corner speaking about one of their pillars of Islam, which is to believe in the last hour, the last day, end times prophecy, is because it mirrors the biblical end times prophecy. And just this alone proves that Allah is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we find in our Bible. And that is what we will get into is right after we look at these clips.
You see, let me explain why I said that.
I'm learning from you.
Okay.
I'm learning from you. You told me what you believe.
So I'm going to teach you now. My belief about Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani.
I said Dajjal. The concept of Dajjal.
To me, that's Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. He's one of the Dajjals. So you asked me about Dajjal. Okay. The concept of Dajjal in Islam, it goes as follows. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us there will be 30 Dajjals.
Yeah.
Okay. Each and every single one of them will claim to be a prophet. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani is one of them. So let me explain the concept of Dajjal. You asked me about Dajjal, right?
Yeah.
Let me answer now. This is, so there is Dajjal, the Dajjal, who will come near the end of times, one-eyed, a'war. We have plenty of reports from the Prophet ﷺ. His profile is very clear in the hadith literature. Then there are Dajjals, Dajjaloon. Dajjaloon. Who are Dajjaloon? Many Dajjals or many liars. Okay, those are those 30.
So to save time, because Adnan never speaks about the Dajjal that comes at the last hour. All he goes on about is these other Dajjals, which is clearly not what this Muslim dude in the black glasses was asking. So just to save time, and if you want to watch it, I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check it out for yourselves. Clearly, Adnan danced around it, never answered his question about the end times Dajjal, which was clearly what he was speaking about, because Isa, the Islamic false Jesus, is said to kill the pig, break the cross, and do away with the jizya, which was clearly what he was asking. Adnan is not a stupid guy. He's just a master debater. So what does he do? He'll talk for a half an hour just to say what he can say in less than 1 minute, just to discourage people and just never answer questions. If you watch Adnan's videos, that's all he does. And when you try to stop him, he'll just say, like the rest of these guys, especially Mansour, he'll say, "Oh, I'm not finished. Let me speak. Let me finish. Let me finish." And then continue to go on for another 5-10 minutes. And by that time, you're like, I'm out of here. You can't talk to these people. They talk about honor, but they don't practice honor. But let's go on to the next one. Now, in this one, we're going to start at 351, and we're going to go on a few minutes. And finally, this dude finally gives in and he explains it, okay? And this guy over here on the right, you can see his hand is the same guy. So at least I'll give this guy credit where he just finally, okay, although I didn't want to speak about it, I'm going to talk about it. But let me tell you something. This dude over here, which you'll see on the right with his hand here, he's more honest than these other Muslims. I'll just say that. Because he's onto something. And this is the type of Muslims whose eyes can be open to the truth, because we know these Muslims will go down with the ship. But we just want to expose their schoolboy knowledge, and whether it's a lie or deceitfulness, whatever it is, it's obviously wrong. So what these Adnani Muslims are to these Muslims, the Sunni Muslims, I'm assuming this guy's Sunni, is what Muslims are to us Christians. So we're obviously never really going to agree on things. But this guy, if we show him the truth of the Bible, he can become a follower of Messiah Jesus. But let's continue.
Ahmed, whatever your name is, because I know that's not your name. You just gave me that name, okay? I know why you're doing this, okay? Let's make something clear here. Let's make something clear here. That you're asking me these questions, hoping to catch me in a mistake, so that when it goes online, I want you to know that I'm on to you, right? You're not on to me, I'm on to you.
The breaking of the cross, he said Allahu Alam.
Yes.
Killing the swine, he said,
Yeah, and ask any Muslim. He'll say Allahu Alam. Okay?
Explain the dot.
He'll kill him with his sword.
You bring a sword from heaven, the 2,000-year-old of Bani Israel. He's sitting in heaven for 2,000 years. He was.
Whoa. Huh?
2,000 years.
3 what?
2,000 years.
2,000 years. I thought you said 3 fathers. More than 2,000 years.
He'll come back with a sword and kill him.
I never said he was going to descend with a sword, did I?
You said he descended with a sword.
I never said he was going to descend with a sword. Okay? Allahu alam. What, we don't make swords on
Allah
earth.
says, I've completed your deen.
Yes, which means with everything with the deen.
Your deen about Isa
No.
and Maryam's return is still complete.
No, because we have
He
all
said,
the
Allahu alam.
we have the
I
information.
have the answers for you.
No, you don't have the answers for me.
When Allah
Okay.
said, Isa and Maryam
You don't have you have nothing from the Quran, you have nothing from the Sunnah, you have nothing from the Sahaba, you have nothing from the Tabi'een, you have nothing from the Tabi'een, you have nothing from them to provide the Qadiani explanation. No, I want you to answer me clearly. Do you have anything from the Quran, Sunnah, the Sahaba, the Athar of the Sahaba, the Tabi'een or Tabi'een, yeah, or the classical scholars to back up the Ahmadi and Qadiani explanation of what the cross, the swine, and the Dajjal is? Do you have that? Yes or no?
What we believe
It's a very simple question.
is when Allah,
I'm not asking you what you believe. I'm asking, do you have evidence of what you believe from these five sources?
what Allah means in regards
He won't
to
answer.
the cross.
You will not answer. And you will never answer.
Allah said no.
No,
Listen to what I'm saying.
I know. Answer my
When
question.
Allah says when Masih will come and break the cross, it doesn't mean literally he break one cross.
Evidence from the Quran. No.
So you can listen, pay attention here, because this guy is actually telling the truth. This guy is avoiding, because it's like they don't want their truth to get out, because if it does get out, it contradicts what they claim when they say Allah is the same God that we find in our holy scriptures, the Holy Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when he said breaking the cross, he's asking him, what does it mean that when Jesus returns, the Islamic Jesus, Isa, what does it mean when he breaks the cross? He goes, it doesn't mean just literally breaking one cross. So he kind of gets into it. So even though the volume's not the best, try to hear what this guy is saying, this guy in the black glasses.
So no, I want you. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So with the cross, you explain what breaking the cross means. No, well, go on then. Let's see.
So when Allah says, I'll break the cross,
Let's see.
when he returns to the cross, it means he'll break it in a metaphorical sense.
Where? Which hadith says this?
Listen, meaning that you know what Christianity stands upon? Christianity stands upon the resurrection, the physical resurrection of Jesus. If they believe that Jesus had died natural death, that would be the end of Christianity. That's what Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad came.
Oh, really?
That he died a natural
What did Mirza? No. So what you're telling me, all right, because you're saying that Mirza Ghulam came to dismantle Christianity, dismantle the crucifixion, the resurrection, the Christian doctrine.
Yes.
Okay, so that means Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't do that. Did Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam do that? Yes or no?
So he's asking, so this guy right here on the left with the long hair is asking, did Muhammad do away with the Christian doctrine that Messiah Jesus died on the cross and was resurrected on the third day? So he's claiming that Muhammad did this. Clearly, we know that Muhammad did not do this. And this guy in the glasses answers him. And he's correct.
Or no?
Yeah,
Did he dismantle the Christian doctrine?
yes, he did. Yes.
Oh, طيب. So how is that what Isa is going to do with the cross?
Okay, if Muhammad has done that, then why do you have Christians still living today who still worship Isa?
No, I'll tell you why.
So he asks, if Muhammad did do that, why are there still Christians here? Why are there Christians who still believe in this doctrine? And if he did do away with it, let's take it a step further. Why was there still jizya? That's the whole purpose of their belief of their Islamic fake Jesus, that he will do away with the jizya.
This is all gonna. I'll tell you why Isa's gonna break the cross and kill the swine. Okay, and I'll tell you why he's going to remove the jizya, because at that point, because prior to his return. Hold on, no, because it's all tied in. Prior to the return of Isa alayhi salam, right, or the descent of Isa, because you guys don't like the word return. prior to the descent of Isa alayhi salam, okay, prior to the return of Isa alayhi salam, the people have argued, okay, regarding the verses of the Quran and the verses of the Bible, okay. But when Isa alayhi salam returns, descends physically, and he is there, right, in the flesh, there is no excuse, there is no argument to be made. And Isa alayhi salam himself will break the cross to symbolize that he was never crucified. He will slaughter the sow, he will slaughter the pig to show the Christians that the law, any pig, to show Ahl al-Kitab and more specifically the Christians, that the law has always been the case, okay? And he will remove the jizya because there is no excuse now. There is either accept Islam or death if they fight.
So there it is. So let's give it a Christian biblical twist, truth. So he admitted that their version of Jesus, who we all know is the fake Jesus, because to make it believable, whoever wrote the Quran compiled it, forged it from the biblical text, the forgery, the corruption of the Bible. They need to have Jesus in there. But anyway, he just claimed that Jesus, their version of Jesus, the Islamic Jesus, not the real Jesus, will kill the pig. That's why the guy on the right said, what, just any pig? Break the cross and do away with the jizya. And anyone, because there will be no more excuses not to accept Islam. And that is what doing away with the jizya means. So we're going to explain why is it the pig gets killed, the cross gets broken, and the jizya gets done away with. And I challenge any Muslim to prove me wrong. I challenge any Muslim who wants to speak about this, just hit me up. You know where to reach me. Killing the pig is killing the Jews. Breaking the cross is doing away with Christianity. Therefore, that's why they believe he's going to do away with the jizya. The jizya is the tax that non-Muslims have to pay for protection. And he said, you can rewind it yourselves. I'll put a link in the description for this video as well. It's right around 8 minutes and 35 seconds. That there will be no more excuse. They will get death. Because if they fight. So if someone declines becoming a Muslim, they define that as fighting. So let's say I don't physically fight, but I just verbally say, I refuse to be a Muslim. They're still going to kill me. But see, their wording is, they're good with their wording. They'll say, because they fight. So you automatically think those who decline of becoming a Muslim are going to fight. But that's not exactly what it means. Anyone who refuses, whether they refuse physically or only verbally because they believe the truth, they're going to be put to death. So what they're saying is when the jizya is done away with, they're claiming that everyone on the earth will be Muslim. There will be no need for the jizya because everyone living on the earth will be a Muslim. They want worldwide domination. So how do we know that their beliefs, the end times belief, and I'm glad that this Muslim in the glasses brought this up, because finally someone talks about end times, their one of their pillars of belief. So if it's one of their pillars, obviously they should do dawah of one of their pillars, right? So let's start asking them about their end times prophecy. Because if you want to prove that Allah in the Quran is not the same God that we find in the Bible, the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, just talk to them and debate about their end times prophecy, which is obviously one of their pillars. So why would they deny giving dawah about on one of their pillars of belief? So in their end times prophecy, they have the Dajjal coming, who is supposed to be their version of the false prophet, who will say he's the Messiah and will lead the Jews to become world power, right? But the Mahdi will come, who is the awaited one, who actually is the replacement theology of our king who was supposed to come. So he's the anointed one, the anointed weighted one, the awaited anointed one that's supposed to come. And Isa, their version of Jesus, will come. So they have two end time figures who will be returning at their end times prophecy, their last hour or last, however they word it, but it's their end times prophecy. They have the Mahdi coming and their version of Jesus. Those are two figures that are going to come, who will come, and they believe their fake Jesus, their version of Jesus, will kill the Dajjal. Again, who they believe will be, who is their version of the fake false prophet, the false Messiah, who will be a Jew. That's the Islamic belief of their end times prophecy in a nutshell. Now, the biblical end times prophecy, we have one person coming, one figure coming at the last day, who will be Messiah Jesus, the Holy One of Israel, the King of Israel, our King. And the biblical end times prophecy states that he will fight and destroy the beast and the false prophet. Biblical end times prophecy says one person, our Messiah, comes alone and destroys two people who he will fight and destroy and throw in the lake of fire, the beast and the false prophet. Yet, as we just saw in these two clips, you have Isa and the Mahdi coming, who will fight one person coming. So how is it that if the Bible is one God and the Quran is the same God as the Bible, why are they not the same in the end times belief? Why do they mirror each other? Why do we have one king coming, our Messiah, who will fight two people? But in their beliefs, they got two people coming who will kill the one who they believe is their enemy, their false prophet, their false Messiah. You see how they married? These are the two who are going to fight. So that alone eliminates that they are the same God. So whenever you hear a Muslim make this false statement, this lie, this deceitfulness, that the God of the Bible and the God of the Quran are the same God who comes with the same message, clearly, this alone, if you know your end times prophecy, biblical end times prophecy, the antichrist beast system is Islam. And if you want to prove it, start talking to these guys about end times. For one, it will they would have to own up and stop saying that it's not the same God. And Let's just be real. You know it's not this. These Muslims, I'm sure, if they don't realize that it's not the same God, obviously there's no helping them. I think they deep down, I believe they do know. But the enemy wants to destroy as many people as possible before the true Messiah comes, who is the Holy One of Israel, our King. So if this guy right here, our Adnan, wants to chop it up with me, let's do it. We'll speak about end times prophecy. And for one, even if we don't agree of who the real Jesus is and who's the real God is, we can at least establish just on end times prophecy that it's not the same God. So then that will force them to never make that lie again, to deceive people. That would mean the Quran would have to stand on its own merit, that they can no longer piggyback our scriptures to get people to believe that it's the same God. You have your scriptures, we have our scriptures. We made a mistake. It's not the same God, but this is our case, and we'll make our case for our Bible. Because when Messiah Jesus comes, all the territories, all the peoples that he fights and destroys, I'm telling all my brothers in Messiah Jesus right now, all my brothers and sisters, read your scriptures, read the prophets. They are 100% Islamic countries. The enemy of Israel is the enemy of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And those enemies are the surrounding nations of Israel, and they just so happen to be all Islamic. The Islam is the antichrist beast system. And the end times prophecy of the Bible and the end times prophecy of Islam proves it. And if my brothers and sisters in Messiah Jesus want to sharpen their iron about end times prophecy, you can hit me up too. And we can go through scriptures. We can do it live so we can educate all of our brothers and sisters that the enemy of the Bible, the enemy of Israel, the enemy of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is Islam. And if you understand Islamic end times prophecy, it mirrors the biblical prophecy. So clearly, it is not the same God. So I think I'll leave it there. And yeah, leave in the description, leave in the comments area what you think. Because prove this wrong. Prove what I'm saying is wrong. You can't. And I believe this is why you never really I've watched a lot of these Speaker's Corner videos, and I don't see them talking about that particular pillar of faith, the last hour, the last day. Because we know in the Hadith that the last hour will not come until you fight the Jews. That a stone will cry out, "O Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him." So why are they fighting the Jews and the Christians if it's the same Bible? Have them explain that. Speak to them about end times prophecy. They're more than welcome to hit me up to speak about end times prophecy. We can do live video. We have technology today. If Hashem doesn't want to talk to me about Isaiah 42, that it is not Muhammad, maybe he wants to chat about end times prophecy. I don't know. But we do know. He only likes to talk about one thing, the same thing he's been talking about since day one he's been at Speaker's Corner. Let's get to the meat. It's the same argument Sunday in, Sunday out, right? Day in and day out. Like Bob has said, one trick pony, right? Let's get to the real stuff. Let's get to this pillar of Islam, end times prophecy. Let's ask them question after question, interrogate their end times prophecy as all they do. They do dawah, but they cannot stop talking about the Bible, right? And as they interrogate our scriptures, the Holy Bible, interrogate their end times pillar, and the truth will come out. Either they're going to do all they can to avoid it, like we saw Adnan, or they'll have to be honest. But, you know, it's permissible in Islam to lie to hide what they really believe. So all you Muslims out there who comes across this video, prove it wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I thank you for watching this. And may the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob comfort you and bless you. Shalom.